Hello my friends, I'm going to be painting you a Thanksgiving rock. We just started our train ride in Santorini's by Shelley, and I am painting this rock for the first stop. So you have to paint your favorite Thanksgiving food, and so I'm painting the bottom part of the rock, which is going to be the table, and I'm just mixing burnt umber and some milk chocolate together just to make it look like some different tones in the wood. And I'm using a Santorini stone. The two colors that I was using is by decoart Americana, and if you see, I'm just kind of dipping dark and light, that's black, back and forth, and I'm just going back and forth until I kind of get just a pretty wood grainy color. I'm going to be putting a bunch of stuff on top of it so it doesn't have to be perfect. So once it's dry, I'm going to use, or it's almost dry, Sicilian yellow for my wall. Now I'm going to be putting foil over the top of this like wallpaper, so this doesn't have to be perfect either. I just want a nice kind of a old style. I'm going for old-fashioned style wallpaper. And I'm just using an Inktense pencil for that. You can really use anything you want for this. I just went with Inktense. So now what I did was I put out my foil, put it down, and chalk painted where I need to add my glue, because I'm going to add a plaid runner for my table. So I'm using burano nail glue. And you're just going to apply a coat over the whole part where the runner is going to be. And then you have to use a UV light to cure it. I have a UV flashlight with 12 lights in it. That's what we recommend for curing. And you're just going to apply that glue all the way on the top and the sides. And I didn't go all the way down the sides, but I went about halfway. And now I'm curing. And this takes about, I don't know, anywhere from 20 to 30 seconds going back and forth. It doesn't take a long time. So then I put the foil on there and press it in real good. And this is a complete foil. It's not translucent, so, or transparent. So you want, when you go to take this off, you have to be really careful and have some patience. But I promise you, all the patience is worth it. And you're going to see me, I'm going to pull some up, put it back down, pull some up, put it back down, because I want to make sure that there's not going to be any spaces coming up. But it is worth all the work, I promise you. Isn't that a cute little plaid? I had to use that one. I was going to use something more Thanksgiving colors, but I just love that plaid so much with the little hearts on it. So this one ended up pretty good. So now I'm going to do my wallpaper, and what I did was I matched up as best I could 2 pieces of the flowers, and then I taped them together so I could just apply in one sheet and there won't be much of a seam. Just remember to cut those clear edges off the sides if you're going to do that, at least the one that you're seaming together, otherwise you're going to have a space. So now you just apply the nail glue all over the top again, and you don't have to do foil on this. You can do paint, you can do whatever you want, as long as your base coat on your rock is painted and your element is painted, you should be fine. But I just wanted to show some foil, different techniques that you could use with foil, and also mixed media, because this is definitely mixed media. Now I'm going to place the wallpaper on. And you're going to do the same thing. You're going to smooth it out really well and then slowly start raising it up. I'm using this little brush. You can get them at the Dollar Tree to smooth it all down. It works really great. You can also get them on Amazon, so it's up to you on which route you want to take, but I really like the brush. If you have a really difficult piece that the foil's not wanting to come off of, you can use a stylus very carefully, or even like a little silicone like cuticle pusher type thing. But like I said, you just have to be careful because you can scratch the foil. And there's a spot, see, I had to take my thing, but then there's a spot that I noticed didn't have any glue because it had a dip in the rock. So it's just an easy fix. Go back, add a little bit of glue, flashlight, all fixed. So it just takes a little bit of patience, but it's so much fun, and it's such a cool thing to do. It's I really enjoy it. So I'm just going to keep pressing on this. It's a beautiful day today in Texas. It's about 68 degrees with a high of 71. So I have the windows open. So I'm making this voiceover with the windows open, and it's super nice. So I'm going to add a little piece at the top, and what I did is I just matched up. I'm going to match it up the best I can. It's not going to be perfect, but I didn't want that very top of the rock to look bare. So see, I'm just going to kind of do a quick little matchy to finish off the wall. And you just do the same thing. The top of the rock, because it's Santorini's, you know, the sides are kind of bumpy, so you have to work a little harder at getting the foil to come off. That's why I don't take it all the way down the side. So now I'm going to make a little circle for my pie, and I'm using chalk paint. I did use that stencil, but I never did really get it completely round, even with the stencil. So I should have sprayed the foil first, but I was trying to be fast, and that's what I get for not spraying the foil. I had a tough time painting. It's really good to put a couple of coats of some matte spray after you foil before you do anything else. So this, I just took a little alcohol and had to fix a little blunder I made on the cutting board. That is a cutting board I'm gonna paint. And then this is gonna be like a square cutting board. I'm going rustic for Thanksgiving. And this is just folk art chalk paint. I'm using a Beetles brush. I have several sets of the Beetles brushes, and they work great for the small painting on rocks. Now I'm going to add a clock to the wall. I had some steampunk stuff, and I found a clock and thought that would be cute to put on the wall. And because I'm wonky and can't do anything straight, I blame it on my left hand, I will be putting the clock on not the right way. So, yeah. But so when you do it, make sure you put the 12 up and not necessarily the hand up. Now I'm using spiced pumpkin for the pumpkin pie. I'm not a big fan of pumpkin pie, and I know we're supposed to do our favorite food, and I do put my favorite food on the table, but I added a pumpkin pie because, you know, a lot of people like it and it looks festive. So now I'm painting one of the cutting boards, which is going to have a loaf of bread on it. And the other one is going to have cheese and fruit. And the cheese is my favorite food. So we do like to do a little cheese appetizer and wine before our meal for Thanksgiving. And I love cheese, so that's my favorite part. I know, I'm silly, it's crazy. So I had different colors going on here. I wasn't sure exactly the color of the board I wanted to do. So I have yellow ochre, and I have burnt sienna, and white, and I'm just kind of mixing up different colors until I get the color of board that I want. It doesn't have to be perfect, because you know wood is all different colors, so I just kind of kept playing with it until I got a color I liked. And you could just do brown, or, you know, you don't have to go all out and be extra like I did. So basically I'm putting all my bases on. Now I'm going to line with some burnt sienna, and then I'll go back and do my next layers and add details and stuff like that. And I'm sorry if you hear my cat crying. Every time I make a voiceover, he feels like he needs to cry during it, so his name is Bandit, but we call him the Irritation. So now I'm kind of scalloping the edges of the pie with a pin, and you're gonna see me go back and forth and do this edge several times. I really kind of struggled with the scalloping over the foil. Like I said, I should have sprayed the foil and I didn't, or even a resin coat over the foil would have been better. So it's a learning process for me, and I'm sharing that with y'all. So this is more of a, this is what I did, this is what you probably shouldn't do, this is how you should do it kind of video. So I'm using a posca pen for the crust, and I believe I'm going to go back and change this color in a little while because it was a little too bright yellow for me. Sorry, I'm off screen a little bit. I keep forgetting not to pull my rock down too far. Now I'm going to draw a little apple on the table, and really what I'm doing is fixing a little blunder I had when I cleaned up some of my mess. I took some of the foil off, so I thought I'm going to put an apple there. Now I'm painting in the cheese, and you can't really see it now, but you'll see it come to life eventually. And then I'm doing a little round cheese. I think I was going for like brie, or yeah, I think I was going for brie because I think I'm going to put a rind on it. Now I'm going to draw in some grapes. And really, I was kind of trying to fill in some space. I thought about drawing a cracker, but I wasn't sure with all the browns going on that it would really look like a cracker, so I just went ahead and put some fruit in. And then I just outlined all the grapes so that they would look more like grapes. And you may not be able to tell from this distance that they're grapes, but hopefully in the end you'll see. Now I added a couple of leaves and a stem. And a little stem on the apple. Green leaf on the apple. Now I'm putting the rind on the brie. I should have left a piece out of the brie and left it a piece sitting, laying down on the board. That would have been even cuter, but next time I do cheese, I'll remember that. My husband loves brie. I'm not so much a fan because I don't like the rind, but I like the inside part, so If I can cut the rind off and give it to him. And I put the little circles on the cheese so you can kind of tell that's what it is. Even though cheddar really doesn't have holes in it, I did it anyway. Now I'm doing the scalloping again on the pie. And that's a Posca 1MR I'm using right now. I started out with a Thule and it wasn't doing well on that foil, so I switched to Posca. Now I'm starting out the bread. And I'm using a Thule paint pen. And I'm just like freehanding this, so you're going to see me go back and forth trying to make it look like a loaf of bread. I haven't painted bread really, so this is a first go at it. And I'm adding different colors of brown, trying to make it look like bread. So you get to watch me in my madness of painting. Now I put the whipped cream dollop on the pie, and then I did some black lines. And now I'm putting some little almond slices just for decoration, and I outline the outside with burnt sienna so it looks like the skin of the almond. Fixing any of my mistakes. Now I'm drawing in the little slice marks on the top. Now I'm going to go in and change the color of the crust. I was going to do the crust brown, but with so much other brown, I decided not to. Just make it a little bit lighter, so it's not very realistic, but you get the idea. Now I'm painting some olives. Another one of my favorites. I could just have like a big, huge charcuterie board on Thanksgiving and be happy. I did put the little red pimentos. And now I'm lining out the almonds. And there you go. I hope you'd enjoyed it. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.